Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Radiant Black podcast. This is a podcast focused on all things Masterverse and the Radiant Black by Kyle Higgins, Marcelo Costa, Becca Carey, Michael Basudel. I think
Well, I
that's
mean, my work has been edited in this issue as well, so I'm really a part of this as much as anybody. If we've read the letters, but yeah, no, I think you got everybody.
joined here today by my fellow co-host Matt and my friend Charlie. How are you guys doing today?
What up? What up? I'm doing great. I mean, I'm radiating positive energy ever since reading this series. No, that's a shitty intro, and we're keeping it, unfortunately. No, I'm doing great. Always an awesome day to be talking about Radiant Black, and it's always fun to have Charlie on the show. How's it going, Charlie?
Yeah, pretty good, man. It's so awesome to be on for a third time, I think it is now. Crazy you guys haven't gotten sick of me yet, so it's pretty awesome. It's been a crazy time at work. In the comic book world, literally on all fronts. We literally just had the Batman last month, Moon Knight at the end of this month. That's just been such a treat. Speaking of that, shout out to the Panel to Panel podcast. They got a great review of all that stuff over there. And yeah, it's kind of just, it's weird getting used to this kind of like a weekly massive verse content. And it's really just awesome to be getting it. And I can't wait to talk about an awesome issue with you guys.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's been a month. It's been the month of MK, really. We had Mario Kart DLC as well, and then we had Moon Knight. Thank Christ for Moon Knight. We had a new issue of Moon Knight this week, as well as Nathan hearing from the MK Bank as well. So this issue is not free of MK either, and I'm here for it. Moon Knight's really sweet. It's nice to have like a Disney show that I actually genuinely care about, and no, it's great. And definitely Team Mark. Fuck Stephen Grant.
Yeah. Oh
Jesus.
yeah.
Disney had a tweet. It's like, oh, we're all rooting for you, Steven. Like, get out of town. Come on. It's all about Mark Spector. Like, if you don't, I don't know. What was that reaction, Bash? Your team, Steven?
No, I mean, I like Steven in the comics. I think his I don't, there are aspects of his representation that I enjoyed in the show. Like, I do like a lot of some of it, like they changed him being a billionaire and everything. That's okay, but I don't like how clumsy he is.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say no. The show's just been really awesome so far, and it's been like really just keeping us guessing, and just can't wait for more.
Yeah, I like the
it's
every
mind
time
bending.
you see him put on the suit, there's this amazing song that plays. It's like amazing. It really adds to yeah. Anyway, Radiant Black 13. I thought this was one of the best issues, like top 3 for me of the run so far. I think a lot happens, and some of it's subtle and some of it's not so subtle, as we'll see later on. Like, a bitch slapping naked people, possibly to death, who knows.
This was a throwback issue, right? It felt in a lot of ways it was a throwback with the Burnett stuff. It was really cool. We got some great, Papa Burnett wisdom, of course, and just the first freaking like page of this where with the like the crutches scene, like it really hits you in the feels. We get the comedy with we get to see CGN again, and then you can't be the Batman again, basically smashing the signal for the villain version of that with how intense it was, and we got a new form. Like, this was a badass issue.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. We got a lot of cool stuff, and what like I most like about this issue and this series is like just the basic day-to-day stuff they go through in the world building, like with the advertising and all this company and all the stuff with Circle Guy News, and we can I don't know where you guys want to start, but yeah, I just really enjoyed this issue overall, and I would agree it was definitely a top 3 issue for me.
The beginning, we're a moment we're waiting for Nathan to progress back into his life in some way. And he's leaving the hospital, gets some conventional pieces of wisdom from the parents. But also, yeah, of course, it's nice to see the Barnetts. We've been seeing them sporadically throughout the issues as they've been, being there for Nathan and his previous journey to healing and recovering from his near-death experience.
This pizza that's mentioned that they get, do you think it's Uncle Pete's? I mean, it's got to be, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Could be one of the last, they're selling like 1 in 100 value variants of these pizzas as they get burned down, like 3/4 of them there. So it's brutal.
It's weird because it's like we see the robot, which we kind of expected because we've seen that from other issues where like the robot kind of makes a weird cameo into Nathan's, mind or whatever it is. Day, but in this case the same thing happens. Like the robot shows up, hello Nathan, and he's like, nope. He just, see you later, bud. And,
Yeah,
that's that.
Yeah, no, like our generation isn't really into like answering phone calls, let alone like super personal calls that are like taking place like inside your like new robot soul. So no, I'm not down with that. I love the crutch stuff at the beginning where they say like, "Oh, honey, careful, take your crutches," and Nathan wants to be able to walk for the first time, and then he's like, "No crutches, okay, please." And then you cut to the panel of them like of Nathan with his shoulders around his parents. Like I really love this because it's like symbolic of their relationship where they kind of have been a crutch for him, but not one that they want him to be overly dependent on, but just enough to get his footing so he can finally walk on his own again. It was so good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
literally happens, right? Like with the credit card bills, like that's literally the crutch right there, symbolically speaking. I guess his dad's been paying his bills just enough so that, you
Yeah, and
know,
supplying his root beer, it's just it's amazing. Like no, this was really touching, and like I love that he even mentions like the stuff about like how you thought you were gonna pay for stuff on the left coast. Like the left coast, I've never heard anyone call the west coast the left coast. This is
Oh, that's that's fun. Well, I don't know if this stood out to you guys at all, but like when the robot came and said like hello Nathan, like it really I've just been thinking like how he was just not surprised whatsoever. It kind of just
hmm
showed like they've been communicating like a lot. So just on that front, I've been super curious how much they've been talking and kind of like where their relationship is at this point.
he's
Yeah.
haunted now, right? Like it's not enough to not have the powers anymore, but it's still messing with you when you probably don't have those powers or they're corrupting you. So that's the worst case scenario.
And you remember the line like your connection is fine, like permanent, final, like for the duration of your existence or something like that. So I'm assuming that Nathan, just based on that sentence, and of course this is a speculative assumption, but based on that sentence, it could be that Nathan is somewhat tethered to the robot until he's dead. Like this is going to be a thing we're going to see play out for a while.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a good point for sure. So like pretty much every radiant that's ever existed could be kind of trapped in this existence kind of thing. I do like that.
And the black box, the cover that they showed, the one with Nathan on the cover looking all like wacky.
Yeah.
What issue was that
Yeah.
for? 14?
16, I
16.
guess.
Okay.
16.
So
Yeah.
maybe that's going to be when the S really hits the F at that point. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We might have some more time with that
What
later.
if the Radiant uses Nathan as a vessel? You know what I mean? And not the other way around.
Yeah.
Because right now we've seen the other way around. We've seen Marshall using the Radiant as a vessel. We've seen Marshall even extort the Radiant, where he's just
Hmm.
like, "Oh, I'm gonna stand in front of the train, basically die if you don't do what I say." You know what I mean? And in this relationship, it's kind of the other way around. We see the Radiant, and this is all from Khonshu, fucking Moon Knight. We see the Radiant, like I got this from that. You know what I mean? We see the Radiant like kind of trying to talk to Nathan, not the other way around. Nathan has no interest in talking to the robot. The robot's trying to talk to Nathan, and I think that's really interesting. It means the robot probably wants something from him, and I'm very curious to find out what.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, the colors again standing out, of course. Like always, got loving the like shading there with the robot in existence, and then we got all this. Did you guys catch the name of the root beer there?
The name of the root beer. Let's
I don't
see.
like. I
Does it
don't
say
think.
Jet? I can't see.
Yeah,
It's
no,
so
I
small.
couldn't
That
I
doesn't
couldn't read
show.
it on. I couldn't read it on the cam, but I wasn't sure if they said it or not. I thought it was just some new thing, but I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see. Because I've noticed they've been consistent with the branding. Like even if you look back to
for sure.
the bank statement, it's MK, which is the same bank from like the first issue and everything. So I like that they've been consistent with that. And a pleasant surprise over the last few months that we've had is the dropping of all those
On
splendid.
Twitter.
Yeah, the splendid. That's a weird word to use to describe that, but they
Oh,
are splendid. The splendid advertisements with Marshall actually voicing them. I mean, we talked about one on the last episode because there was one out by that time, but I think we got two or three more, right? And they're hilarious.
oh
It's
yeah, no, for sure. All that stuff really just adds to it. Like when I was reading it for the first time, like that's what I heard really like
Yeah.
in my head when I was going through it. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed that stuff.
No, like they go above and beyond in the social media marketing of this franchise, where A, it's fun, and B, like they blend the reality of the universe with what's happening on social media, and it's amazing. And then we got
Yeah.
Uncle Pete's. Bash, when you saw the Uncle Pete's logo, you must have thought of Pete's Boutique, right?
Yeah, and I honestly got a little hungry, man. Tavern style pizza sounds bomb. But for me, the funniest thing was when he was like, it was very natural. So I don't know who the voice actor is, and I don't think the information's out there yet. But whoever it was, props to them because that one advertisement for the Like that was so yeah.
Zip.
I just thought that was
Oh,
so
yeah.
funny.
That was funny.
Like,
That was awesome.
that was awesome, yeah. And so I like the Uncle Pete's thing kind of being not only like part of the whole advertisement thing, but also having like he has an emotional connection to it throughout because of his life and his personal connection to it with his father. And we'll see later on that it's just his father and him that share this sentiment for this pizza, and not the mother so
Yeah.
much.
I was thinking that Circle Guy News, they should go in with Radiant Black and start their own restaurant, call it Arby's. Like you got Radiant Black right there. That's your money right there.
That's
But then I
really good.
realized that Uncle
Arby's.
Pete's, you're buying Uncle Pete's za, so it works perfectly. It's perfection. And Higgins, I'll never doubt you again.
Yeah.
Also, the root beer, it kind of looks like it has the A&W logo on it. There's like a circle, there's like a V and like an A-ish shape. It looks like it's just close to the A&W logo.
Okay. Yeah.
I see your
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
But whatever you have to do to get by. No, I'm kidding. But of course, A&W root beer. I mean, they're synonymous with it, so that's pretty. I love this opening. How the way we cut from Nathan saying to his dad saying like, "Oh, trust me, there's more to Marshall than anyone thinks," and he's got like 6 burritos hovering around him, like, and the way it's hovering, it's almost like a Doctor Strange pose or something. Like it's so good.
No, it's hilarious. Yeah, and the way he's posing is funny, and it's hilarious because all the products are so random. Like they're all like very like Marshall things. Like, oh, like here's some proxy to stop people from catching your embarrassing whoops, or like here's some like the
Manscaped
trimmers.
straight
Yeah,
up.
Manscaped.
It's Manscaped is what it is.
Shearer
Like,
from the bush. Wait, what? Wait, what does he say? That's why Team RB is tickled to tell
Buzzing
you
your
about the new
bits.
automated shearer from Bush Brush. That's not as good. It's just
Yeah.
like, what the?
Yeah.
That was actually hilarious. I remember laughing when I heard.
Eddie's right, and a product called the Bushwhacker would sell. If that's not on Manscaped's lineup. Anyways, what are you saying, Charlie?
Yeah, no, I was saying that whole buzz in your biz thing, I absolutely love that. Just their little catchphrases really I just absolutely loved it. And that stuff, like I said, like that stuff on Twitter, I really enjoyed actually like kind of hearing that like beforehand. I don't think I've really experienced something like that in the comic.
I mean, Matt raved about Marshall's advertisement skills back with the Marshall Schools of Business, so it's nice to see them recognized. And then
We got
continue
all of
that.
Marshall's business acumen this week. We got it all. We got all the ads, and we got the return of Marshall's SOB at the end, which is the best acronym for it. It's great. And I've fallen under the spell of Taco Bell recently too, after I realized they deliver, and the carb got me, right? I've been carbing up the Taco Bell like twice, and Baja Blast obviously is like one of the best things ever invented. It's basically like drinking holy water, and I've been cleansed of my sins. Also, I do have 2 gift cards for pizza places, so somehow my life is just a part of this book.
That's very fair. Yes. Yeah, that's a great
I just want to say a shout out to Circle Guy News. It's nice to see them returning an issue because last time we interviewed them on the podcast, and check it out if you haven't. It's a fun episode. It even has video, and we love those guys. So I'm a big fan of the Invincible podcast, so it was really nice to be able to talk to them, and which is also Circle Guy News, by the way.
Is this the first time that their name's been said in the book? I feel like it is.
I did go back and I think Bill was said. I don't know.
That sounds right to me.
I don't think they said Ryan. I think that was the first time they said Ryan, maybe.
They really captured the way these guys talk too. They did a really good job, and I love the way they interact with this. My new favorite Radiant Black panel, maybe of all time, is Radiant Black eating pizza saying eventually, like through the suit. It's so good, like eventually. Like his reasoning for not helping, well, I just charge their powers. I'll just make it worse. Like that's like saying like I'm not gonna help in the kitchen. I'll just mess things up. Like I'll find a way. Like it's like no, we kind of need you here. Like help out.
My favorite line is when Bill is like, then why'd you ask? And then TJ's like, don't be a dick, Bill. There's bigger shit to give him shit about. Like,
yeah.
Like, that's literally like that.
Makes you further engaged in the story and further fleshes out what podcasters interacting with a guy who also cuts the bullshit, how they would interact.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they got I don't know if this is their little radiant cave or something. They got all these little like oracles around or whatever, however you want to compare it, kind of. And they're the people who first introduced Accel to us and blew up 20 cars. And I really love the glowing effect later on, and we'll get into more of that. But Accel is a really cool character.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we were all wondering in that issue. I'm not entirely sure what issue it was, maybe 7, or that big like alien spacecraft machine full of the weapons dropped down, and we see these people who found it. And we realize now, looking back, as I reread that issue, that was Jace who died in in Supermassive #1, he's the guy who turned into the big thing, alien thing that they ended up having to put down. And they bring that up this issue. He was just like, we don't have more fuel charges, and that drunk guy, that's the guy. The guy
Drunk or high, Bash. Come on, we're professional.
Yeah, drunk or high. Yeah, he's the one reporting to Accel and Shift. So he's clearly a grunt sort of guy. So that probably implies in some sort of way that when they found that all that tech, it went to these guys because these guys are the higher ups. So it's interesting to see like Excel straight up like this dick, and it's weird because when Michael was discussing Raid in Black #14 is on FOC this weekend, and I believe it's gonna be until Monday, so you have until Monday to pre-order that issue. Cool cover, iconic homage to Hulk 340, I think. Yeah, so
yeah.
The thing is, in that issue we see that they were getting this new character called Sheer, and Michael has said that this Sheer is like one of the worst characters in comics. Like this dude is just a pure asshole, and I honestly think XL was an asshole. Like this dude was like a piece of shit. Like he was threatening Marshall in all sorts of like horrible ways. He was just straight up killing all sorts of innocent people just to like draw him out. Like this dude is
no, he wasn't just destroying buildings. Pizza, like,
yeah,
those are places of worship to me, are pizza places, pizzerias. So like you destroy those, like that's
taking away his childhood memories. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh.
That's a major blow.
This guy was just absolutely ruthless, and I liked his power set too. At first, like just seeing him, hearing the name Accel, I thought he was gonna maybe be like a speedster or something, type guy, kind of like the Flash. But I really did enjoy like what they did with him. I did like it.
It's a very interesting and complex situation to have it so. Marshall basically supercharges him anytime he tries to really fight him, so it makes it the battle more interesting, and it's not just one of those like, oh, I can just save the day by overpowering him like I have pretty much everyone else,
Yeah, their setup reminds me of the Vulture setup in Spider-Man Homecoming, where they're basically like construction workers or whatever that like manage to like scrap the stuff of like the bigger guys. Like I love that kind of stuff where it's like we see the underbelly. It's like, okay, while you guys are doing your big battles, I'm gonna use your tech to benefit me. I like that kind of stuff of just harvesting what falls, without going like, oh, I've seen your missiles, Tony Stark, you're a bastard. It's like there's a lot to it. So yeah, I like that.
And it's weird because, and I'm not gonna go too deep into this because Radiant Red, we're gonna talk about that later this week. But in Radiant Red #2, spoiler alert. So if you haven't read Radiant Red #2, skip the next 30 seconds. But in Radiant Red #2, we see Shift appear, and we realize that Shift isn't actually the #1 dog. He's like reporting to someone else, this woman who's almost like a kind of mad scientist kind of figure who is interesting because she extorts Satomi in some ways as well. So I'm intrigued to see whether Shift is like the top, like he's a boss, or whether he's like a lieutenant for someone who is a boss. And because like he's already such a badass character, and people are super excited to see, more of him moving forward. So I'm curious to see whether he reports to someone else and who that person is, might be.
Yeah, for sure.
We're getting a really cool underworld here.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Owen to pop up somewhere as one of these villains. I really think he's gonna be under one of these masks someday.
That's a good call. You give him one chance at this tech and not having to do like actual work and being able to like make Satomi's life worse, and he'll reach for it. Yeah.
Yeah. But so we'll go back to our main character, Nathan, here. But yeah, this was an awesome, for those of you who are hunting key issues, we released a comprehensive key issue list earlier today with covering all the Radiant Black keys so far, all the first appearances, or, people who are collectors or readers might want to look into if they don't have any. Just, if you're a collector,
it's really cool.
Like that kind of
Bash
stuff.
is underselling it. It's perfect. It's like a cheat sheet for this, and also.
Yeah, it's a cheat sheet. Exactly. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
But one mistake you did make is you didn't acknowledge the first appearance of the Rowe family, who are a massive deal. I can tell there might be a connection to Kathy even. That's on my radar. Wow. It's wild. So guys, pick up this key, like get the ratios, because when we're all talking about this, when we're waiting for them to adapt season 3 and bring in the Rows, you're going to want to row your boat to the bank with all the money you're going to cash. I'm telling you.
Oh, God.
No, that was really
Oh, yeah. For sure. Yeah, no, it was organized super well. I do have to say I was going through it just before we hopped on. So, yeah, props to that for sure.
Yeah, no, legitimately, he did a great job, even if he forgot about the Rows. No, I'm kidding, but like it's not all roses. Everything's not coming up roses in the Radiant Black. Okay, I'm sorry.
So first full appearance of Shift. Prior to this, we see him for like 1 or 2 panels, and I think Radiant Black #9. So it's cool to see more of him. And I do believe Radiant Red 2 came out the week after this. So yeah, this is the first time he's in an actual story for more than a panel or 2. Nathan and Marshall, and we see that Nathan's chilling in a bar, and for once he's actually writing, and that makes me so happy. That's like such a wholesome moment to see like Nathan writing, and he's not just want to like kill
Not just
himself.
writing. Okay, that's the hardest I've laughed on this podcast. But yeah, he's killed. Sorry for my my screeching crow laugh. But yeah, he's not just writing. He's finished 2 short stories, which is like good, or might have been 3 even. So he's actually like wrapping stuff up. He's had these ideas, so he's literally.
All I'm gonna say is JJ gets results. Like that's all I'm gonna say.
That's all I'm saying. Like a little bit of love goes a long way, not just in Weezer songs, but in creative like lanes, right? Where I mean, obviously he's had a lot happen to him. When you're a writer, you need to experience life to be able to truly like write interesting stuff. And he's experienced a lot, near-death experience, and he's got an old flame come back to his life. So I'm sure he's plenty inspired. Poor Nathan. Well, poor Nathan. Well, kind of poor Nathan, but he's doing okay. Well, broke ass Nathan.
Yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see him so happy with her, and that she's really getting him going, like really like mentally, like really going writing wise. I know Marshall doesn't really feel the same way, doesn't have quite the same feelings that Nathan does, but those back and forths are so hilarious. I love those.
Agreed. And some people have voiced the opinion that Marshall feels that way because maybe he has feelings for Nathan, and like that, he might be gay or bisexual, and I'm like, that's kind of interesting because there are.
I definitely see that. I don't know why I haven't thought that until this point, but that totally makes complete sense.
There are, like, if you reread the series, and we've talked about this on the podcast before. Marshall definitely, they're good friends. So I'm not saying they're not, and I want to be very clear about that. They're good friends, both of them, to each other. But it seems like Marshall values or weighs this friendship much more heavily than Nathan does, in my opinion. At least that's the way it seems.
Yeah, Nathan is the one that left for LA and could. Yeah. Marshall stuck around.
Yeah, right? And like Marshall made it seem like, if you really reread the issues, like it made it seem like his world was, like his life was about to change because Nathan came back, and like no, like even when he's crying in the snow when he puts the radio on for the first time, he was like thinking like we're all gonna do it together, and like you're gone now, and like I can't do it without you. And it's like that's a really weird thing to think about someone who you haven't seen in a very long time. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
there definitely could be queer coding in there if I'm going to use the modern parlance. But also I noticed when they talked about Jace, they said, well, we lost Jace, Riley's better half, and Riley's all messed up on drugs and alcohol. So who knows what's going on there?
I think they're brothers.
Okay, well that just made things weird.
I'm not sure. I think they're brothers. Yeah.
I did go back. I was trying to look through all their appearances. I think they were in issue 8 at the very end, but yeah, it was definitely his brother.
So yeah, let's just forget I said that. But either way, so yeah, that's an interesting way to look at the Marshall-Nathan dynamic. I mean, who knows? If we take a big trip to existence, they could have that revelation by the time they leave. So that would be interesting. That's one road. I think they're just really good friends because like if I lost one of my best friends, like I would go into the existence for Bash, who I've known for a while.
It's the jealousy for like the people that more so than. Like they're saying like the way that he, like, look at the panel where he's just like he says Nathan's like, don't be a dick to JJ. Yeah, don't be a dick to JJ. And then at the end, at the bottom of that page, like right above the panel where he says don't be a dick, look at the way Marshall's kind of like indifferent about it. You know what I mean? Like he puts it's almost like kind of just looks kind of like upset. You know?
Yeah.
I mean? Like jealous almost.
For sure. Even going back to existence. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but going back to existence, like even him saying like that truth at the very end, like he hates himself, and he definitely has like some demons really deep down, and it seems like he just can't accept himself for some reason. Obviously, we don't know kind of what's been going on with his dad and that situation. We saw a little bit of the mom later on, which we'll talk about. But
look at how he's like, look at that. What does he say? He says new short, and then he's like, another one that's like 3 since you got home. I know I hit a groove or something. It's not the novel, but I don't care. I'm just happy to be finishing stuff again. And then Marshall's like, what's this one? And he says, nothing big, just riffing on the same stuff. How nice it is sometimes going back to old lives. And then Marshall says, and he's so happy in this moment, he says, I wonder what could have possibly inspired. And then he sees JJ and he's like, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like he's almost upset that he's not the source of that inspiration.
Oh yeah, and he wants to bring out Cal too. Like, look, I got Cal. Like blah blah blah. Like the old times and stuff like that.
Yeah. He's
but
trying
there's
to
a lot.
Take his attention away. You know what I'm saying?
In just like a handful of lines though with JJ, and you can see the relationship, right? Just like, hey there, oh, is this the sweater? I like it. Like you can tell they talked about like, I'm wearing the sweater, and like that's the cute little coupley thing. And then she's like, oh, I thought, and he says like, I finished this story. It's different than what we talked about, with JJ. So you can tell like Marshall wants to be in that spot where like it could just be just a hetero thing where he's just jealous. Like people have been in that position where their friend gets a girlfriend or gets a boyfriend, and then your time with them is
It could go either way, but the point is there's definitely some jealous feelings there.
You can literally see it on his face, like the next page when he's giving them the like remaster version of Cowl. Every single panel that like progresses, you can see his smile just getting wiped off until that last page. He just has that frown on with the beer.
If Nathan was a Wookiee, there'd be a life debt, and then there would be no issue realistically. But unfortunately, we can't all be Wookiees, so here we are. The bar looks like a place I would hang out. I really want to go to Lockport to like chill at this bar for sure. Definitely at some point I'm doing that.
And the next part of the issue is very interesting. Not a part that I was expecting. I mean, I was expecting to get Orson back this issue, and surprised we get the name of the pooch. Orson, very cute dog. Love this dog. First appearance, I think it was like issue 3 or 4. I think it's 4. We mentioned it earlier.
It's a clever name because is this Marshall's dog or son?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. And people were like saying it probably from like Orson Welles and everything. Yeah. So that's really awesome. His mom is a bit rigid, I thought, in this.
Oh, this killed me.
Yeah, there's some tension in this relationship. A lot of people were saying she looks kind of drugged out. I personally don't think
that's a nice quote for someone that gets drugged out.
Exactly. I don't think she's drugged out. I think she's kind of like. I think she's old.
She looks like she's been through hell, and she looks like she's been through a lot of stress.
Maybe Marshall's dad died, and it was like she's got bills to pay, and there was no Kickstarter for her, right?
I'm kind of getting the impression like he kind of like has a more positive interaction towards her.
She takes the gift card, man. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
I don't like this pizza, but then she takes the gift card.
I didn't even notice the gift card.
We'll go back to that. Yeah, that was the gift card he got from Uncle Pete's for doing the ad. So he got a $100 gift card, and she basically says, I wasn't set up for a dog. He costs money, Marshall, to take care of. And he just looks down and hands it over and says, yeah, here you go.
Yeah, your mom's not excited to see you. You could have died. There's none of that. But like she's broken. Realistically, like you're not happy to see your son.
I was really gonna say I'm getting the impression I think like maybe she blames Marshall for what happened to the father.
Jesus.
There's definitely something there. Yeah, resentment of some sort.
He looks like he wants forgiveness, but she just is having none of it.
Going back to the Marshall stuff, though, people that don't get love at home, they especially with like in the family situation, a lot of people have family that lie back on, but a lot of people maybe depend more so on their friends, like their best friends, and that's why he's feeling neglected with Nathan, right? Like he might not have that family life. With the Burnetts, he kind of tries to force himself in on that, like jokingly, like like he's part of the family, and now they kind of hate him. Everyone kind of thinks Marshall's a piece of shit when really he sacrificed himself to go save his best friend, and he's getting none of it.
Yep. And that makes sense, this issue, when you consider everything that's happening, because he lost his dog and he's just now getting it back. He lost his friend, who he actually just got back too, because his friend, although he's there, he's not fully present. And then he goes...
In more ways than one.
And then he lost the gift card, and then not only does he lose the gift card, but he lost the restaurant right after. So it's like, this dude's going through hell. Like, this is like a really bad day for Marshall, this issue. He's taking L after L,
Yeah.
This pizza place is how he's like connects to people. Like he's mapped that onto his identity. Like, I used to think it was my real uncle. We went so often. Jesus.
Yeah, and he's at home alone, just him and Orson. They're chilling, watching the infamous Cowl. Of course, if you haven't checked out Cowl, pretty sure Kyle put the movie on YouTube. It's on his channel. I think it's called The League or something like that. So I've seen it. It's pretty awesome. I've also read the comic. It's really good. It has like Watchmen vibes. I was very impressed. Love the Rod Rice artwork. Highly recommend Cowl if you haven't checked it out. But it's nice to see how often Cowl comes up, because it gives us that little, weaving into rest of the black market narrative. But I was also surprised by the, like Charlie said earlier, the ruthlessness of Accel in this call out. He just blew up like his restaurants, like killed a bunch of people or hurt a bunch of people. I just called out Marshall, basically saying, I'm not going to stop hurting people until you show up here, or taking down these restaurant chains, basically, the locations. And then you get one of the best pages, in my opinion, in all of Radiant Black, like so far. That page with the rain. That's why they put it at the preview. That's why they previewed it before it came out, because they knew it was the money page. This is the money page.
It was so good that we forgot what color Orson is in the previous page.
I just want to give a shout out to what is it, Raul Angulo? Yeah, Raul Angulo, who's the colorist for this issue. I believe this is the first issue of Radiant Black that he's colored. It's fantastic. Like I said, every time they give us some new creators on the series, they always do such a fantastic job. So really awesome stuff from Raul Angulo. I really hopefully we get him again in the future because I enjoyed his coloring. It's so good and it really keeps in line with the rest of the coloring from the other issues. So it doesn't really feel like we have a new colorist. Like you'd hardly
No, it's
notice.
good. I really like
Yeah.
the coloring. The only critique I have is that does look like a different dog on the previous page. It's like a different color than Orson.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
that,
yeah.
But
that's
it's all good. Maybe it's part of the SOAR. Maybe you grab the wrong dog. He's just distressed at the dog park. You bring the wrong dog home. You're lost. You don't know where you are when you're facing these things. It's brutal and it's cool. No, this stuff in the rain, like this was really intense. This is the stuff where you can like visualize it as a like a movie in your head with, and it's so
Oh,
vibrant.
yeah. That's this you can tell like that's one of the things I personally really like about Kyle Higgins as a writer or a creator, I should say, is that in essence a filmmaker, and he talks about this in the Comic Tropes interview. So shout
Yeah.
out to Comic Tropes, fantastic video from one of my favorite comic book YouTubers out there. Check out his work on the Comic Tropes and check out his work, his interview with Kyle Higgins. It's fantastic. It's super long. They dive into so many aspects of Kyle's career, including how he got started. And yeah, Kyle talks about how he was a filmmaker. I mean, Kyle literally says one of his first gigs ever was working for Richard Donner. Like, you know what I mean?
Ooh.
Yeah, like he was his assistant. He has in his house a poster of Superman that's I'm pretty sure like signed by Richard Donner. He's talked about this before.
oh
So
wow.
yeah, like Kyle has a history and people don't realize that. And I think that's part of why these comics they feel that way when you read them because he is essentially a filmmaker. That's his passion. You see his YouTube, he has all these films he's created. Cal is like, he created that and he created the Cal movie. It's the League. So he loves this stuff. And I think that's why we always talk about Radiant Black like they're scenes because they are scenes to him. Like I'm pretty sure that's how he visualizes the series. And it's like that's why he called Supermassive the season 2 special. Do you know what I mean? Like this is how he's visualizing these
Yeah.
things. You could see his filmmaker background really tap into this stuff, and I think it's fantastic. I think even the way that the angles cut out at the Radiant Black comic, like you could tell there's talent there. They do a very good job of adding tension to each scene by giving you very focused angles on specific parts that really elevate the mood. Yeah, and it's just such a good job. Like that scene where you get the front shot of Radiant Black as he's walking into the pizza place. Like that's just such a gorgeous scene because you're seeing the perspective of the person kind of who's waiting inside looking out. You know what I mean?
And they're like
Yeah.
widescreen. It's almost like you can see the way he's like walking out of it. It's amazing, almost like a 3D movie. It's cool how Nathan, the stories he can tell, only he can tell with his experiences, just like Kyle Higgins. If there's no Power Rangers, if he wasn't on the set of this, if he didn't go to school for filmmaking, we wouldn't have Radiant Black as the same way it is. There's so many variables that are involved in this process, and they all, we rolled the dice and they came out perfectly. This series, Kyle had to go through this journey to give us this series the way that he has, and it's amazing what the whole team is pulling off. Everyone on their journeys, like Basuto, wherever he learned to be an amazing at editing and design. Like the logo is perfect. Becca Carey, what she brings to the table with the way that the fonts pop off the screen, the onomatopoeias, the electric sounds, it's amazing. The coloring I noticed in this issue on the bombs that Accel throws, like they look otherworldly. Like it's like they're bringing existence into the real world. It's just really cool.
That really reminded me. I've been going through that new The Swamp Thing run that's been out on issue 5. Yeah, that coloring really reminded me of some of those earlier scenes, like in the green and stuff. But yeah, I was gonna say that next issue the next page when he's watching the cowl and stuff, and basically Accel just sits down and gives him a personal call out, and he says like, come here now. And doing that, he's just in such a bad headspace right now after what he went through with his mom. You can just see the rage in his eyes in that last panel, and you can just see it going through that rain as well, and it kind of leads into, I think, what kind of happens later on in this fight.
And the way he says come dog, right? Like not just him getting his dog back, but he's being treated like a dog. He's happy to greet you. He's at the door waiting for you to come in, but everyone's telling him no. Like literally he was happy to see his mom, and then she's like, dogs are expensive, Marshall. Not, oh my son, I'm so happy you're alive. Like dogs are expensive. Like it's a money thing. I love you, but like it was expensive to keep the one piece of you alive that I had of you. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, we get the page when they're sitting in the bar. Obviously, there's intimidation from Accel. I'm not going to go through every line because obviously, if you're listening, you've read this. But
there's shades of the Radiant Red fight, right? That almost killed Nathan, right? Because you're at the bottom of the floor, the lights are off, it's kind of empty. It reminds me of that building.
Yeah, and Radiant Black has to be very careful with what's going on here because Excel tells him right away, like, look, you're basically on a leash here. Like, you can't really leave because I'm gonna go continue to kill people and destroy places, but you also can't like come fight me because you're just gonna supercharge me. So what's it gonna be? I love how much of it like of an ass he is because he knows exactly. He's not playing games. Like, so he's a villain's villain. Like, he's just straight up evil. And
He wants what he
to-
wants, and this is the
yeah.
most effective way to do it. I saw you doing the pizza ads. Okay, I know you like the pizza places. This will make you come here for sure when I do this. Like, he's smart, and he's just boom. Also, I like how this is the play on the trope of like, oh well, Batman. All these villains wouldn't spring up if it wasn't for Batman. Like, literally, these villains are powered by this technology. They would not have the ability to do what they do if the Radiant wasn't here. So it's a really cool way of looking at that.
It's really interesting to see how Marshall has to be very calculated about what he does. He's part of him realizes that he is a person that's easy to provoke. Marshall knows himself, but at the same time, Excel is doing a very good job of provoking Marshall. He's trying to get him to beat him up so that he gets, super powered, kind of like in Supermassive initially when Marshall was telling him, don't attack the thing, and then Rogue Sun and Inferno Go Red attacked the creature and supercharged it. So yeah.
And how different would this be if he could talk to, if Nathan had the time to talk to him about their little side project right now, right? He'd be like, yo, like, what's going on here? What should I do? But instead he's already pissed off and sad, so he's gonna be more angry, and that's how we get like Carnage Unleashed Christ mode here, which is like even cooler than Cape. I mean, the Cape's involved, but the transformation's cool as hell. That's how you know. We barely talked about that so far.
I mean, lettering, colors, everything off the rails. Y'all know, like, Becca Carey is a legend. Everything she does in here is absolutely unbelievable. I just love this one line because this actually made me like laugh out loud. I was going through an emotional like roller coaster.
Stay radiant.
Yeah, it was like, haha, keep aiming it up, baby. Stay radiant. I'm just like, dude, you're such a dick. Like, Excel is like a huge asshole.
Shades of I Am Vengeance, right? When the villain says it in that certain movie that I don't want to spoil.
Oh yeah, no, it's just I think if I keep amping it up, like he's just such an ass. Like he knows how to get under Marshall's skin. He knows he's a villain. Like he's such a annoying villain, and I'm really digging it. So I'm like, part of me loves this issue because it's so well done, but part of me also loves this issue because I know in the future Excel's gonna be back at some point, and it's gonna be even more brutal. You know what I mean? Like, if this is their first fight, I can't even imagine how like revenge will be.
Yeah. Plus, like, the social media, Marshall's been using a lot of social media, and we've seen the problem with social media is if you share too much of yourself, it's even more for someone to take advantage of, and that's what happened in this situation. So he's got more of a knowledge of him. I know your sign off. I've been watching your ads and whatever social media stuff you've been doing, and that's how I've been able to get the one up on you.
Yeah, that was pretty cool there, and even this whole like, it gave me very like symbiote Spider-Man, like just when he gets that black suit and he just gets very rageful, and kind of like I thought it was kind of his first like Super Saiyan moment, almost just bursting out with that extra bit of power.
Secret War is the one he's fighting within himself, dealing with all this bullshit. But yeah, it's amazing.
I was not expecting this, and when I saw this, like, instantly, this was my favorite design for a character I've seen in a long time. With this cape, like the cape was cool before, but with the all black, with the energy,
and
it's like rage. It's like Kylo Ren's lightsaber, where it's like tapered or whatever. It's just it's just raging. All the energies around him, and like it almost looks like stars inside the explosions on his hands or whatever, but it's not. It's like particles, but it's like you can feel that he's like super powerful and has to pull his punches.
And you can feel it too when he slams Accel down, and he almost takes that like Dr. Manhattan. He has the precision, and he just like precisely, like, he takes off every single component separately of the costume. It's not like he just ripped it off. Like, you can see how precisely he took this thing apart.
Like, he's fully in tune with his gravitational powers at that point.
Yeah, only leaving enough to cover his junk, basically, so that this doesn't become a Black Label issue. But yeah, this was one of the most badass moments in the comics. Like, clearly, I don't know what can touch this as far as badassery. Like, Cape mode was cool. It is cool. This is like Cape mode with the cherry on top.
Droids. Yeah,
I don't know, like, something, just these level ups. I don't know why. Like, I feel like we should have seen something like this coming, but it was just so cool to see him just get that extra bit of power and really just go to town. But something I was gonna ask you guys is, do you think, like, even if he didn't have this power, with this threat that Accel gave him, like, would he have killed him regardless?
Excel's not dead. Like confirmed, he's not dead.
Yeah, I didn't think he was dead.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's not dead because
he's just naked and afraid right now.
In the preview for number 14, they show that they mention on the news that he's still alive and he was captured by the authorities. And if you look at Radiant Black 16, the cover, it's the year 2 cover with all the villains. Excel's on the cover.
Yeah.
So we knew that either way, that even if Joao died, that someone would have continued the mantle, like, going forward. So Excel's gonna come back. Like, he's confirmed alive. We
Yeah,
100%,
we saw the police.
confirmed when we saw
Yeah.
the
We saw the police watching, and really you should have sent it to Marshall the whole time, because that's what really got this wrapped up. But no, we don't have a confirmation on what this form's called, right?
Not yet.
Uh,
And the
no.
thing is, like, one thing that, I was thinking about, and others have brought this up on the Discord too. So, shout out to everybody on the Discord. Someone was saying, if you think back to Supermassive at that moment where they're kind of looking into the prophecies of each hero, when there's that energy explosion and they get this brief revelatory moment where they look into their own futures, and we see that because it's in each of the visions, they show a vision of their future, like you see them in it. So in Inferno Girl Red, you can see she's the red person there. In Rogue Sun's future, you can see he's standing there, right? Like at the funeral, his dad's there with Brock. But then when you go to the Radiant Black future, Marshall's not there, but you see this, like, Radiant Phantom, whatever people are calling him, Radiant Spectrum, Radiant whatever, all kinds of different names. But you see this, like, one of these final boss looking guys in space, and he says soon in Radiant language. So I'm wondering, is that Marshall looking at his own future and he becomes, like, evil? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was an option. First seeing that, I don't know why, but I have it in my head that that's gonna be Nathan somehow,
Yeah.
some way, at some point.
It has to be
I don't know
one of
why,
them,
and
right?
see the
It
battle.
should
But
be.
yeah, it's got to be
Yeah.
something very personal to him. And if not him, like, that would be crazy if, like, Nathan came back and took over the Radiant Black Mantle, and then Marshall goes rogue, and then, like, he's a villain of the series, like something like that. Like, who knows? Like, with the series, it could really go anywhere. Like, it's
Well, that fight between Nathan and Marshall in the dream, right? Well, we think that's Marshall, like, dreaming of the Radiant Black. Like, did we get to see him unmasked? Maybe that could have been Marshall in the suit, and he was dreaming about Marshall fighting a future version of him.
It's anything's possible at this point. With
And this
Radiant
is a
Black.
series that's been planned ahead. Like, they know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, I mean, you remember last episode we said they were planning issue 36. Today, Kyle already said that on Twitter that they recently just picked, like, the image or something like that for volume 3 of the trade paperback. Yeah, so they're thinking ahead. They're on good schedule, and I love that. But yeah, no, this was such an intense issue. This moment was so intense. The artwork's off the rails, everything, the lettering, the coloring. Shout out to everybody who worked on this. But yeah, like, I just had to pick up my jaw from, like, off the floor when I was reading this issue when I got to the end, because I was so blown away by just everything that happened. People were always saying we need more action, we need more action. Well, there's your action, and it comes back to that solicit that Kyle gave in one of the previous issues where he said, when it rains it pours supervillains, and we're getting a lot of supervillains. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to see what kind of, like, coalition they're going to form in number 16 when we get that cover. So that's interesting.
That's a really cool. I did see after seeing it, like, I kind of think maybe he got going back to Accel, I think maybe he could have got his eye cut off, like his right eye, like, or maybe just the side of his face. We can see him come back with a cool Deathstroke eye patch or something. But
Oh yeah, that'd be
I
cool.
guess we'll have to see what's going on there.
There'll be scars regardless, physical or emotional. He's gonna be pissed off. And these guys are gonna have
yeah.
a bit of rivalry, and they're gonna be
Just
throwing down.
imagine
if
you're
they're-
the cop, like, arriving on the scene. There's just, like, this naked dude bleeding, passed out on the ground. You know what I mean? Like, this shit beat out of him. Like, it's so awkward.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
You just
Cover your
destroyed,
shame,
like,
and we'll
pizza
put you back
chains.
together. Yeah, your eyes
Yeah.
are over, we'll put you back together. But yeah, no, that's sucks. And, like, next, it's called Retaliation. So is Marshall, like, is he going full rage mode now? Are we gonna go?
Oh,
and
Sheer.
go through?
We're getting Sheer. We saw in the preview that we're getting Sheer next issue, and he
And we're not going for a haircut. We're gonna go. Well, make it a haircut.
seems like a real piece of work. Sheer. He's a hacker from the looks of it, from what we see. So
He's the one they say they hate, right?
He's
The Basuto's, like, the most hateable person in comics.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And like that cover with the Hulk,
claw,
Wolverine.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
Wolverine Hulk famous cover homage, McFarlane cover. So, like, that's awesome. Like, we've already gotten so many awesome cover homages. We had Rain Black 9 that homaged the Spider-Man issue, and we had this one homaging the iconic Hulk issue. I'm looking forward to more of
And it
these
has been
ones.
confirmed. Someone was saying in the Discord that issue 18 is Radiant Yellow's issue, right?
Yeah, we confirmed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
making sure. If they pass over my boy Wendell, I am
Oh,
The
no.
streets will run
Oh,
red.
people are. I think Wendell is the most liked, at least based on Discord. I think Wendell is the second most liked Radiant.
That's why he's got the line, like the visor, because he's the most level-headed. Like it's like completely straight. Like he's right on there to like beat
It's
your
very
ass.
close
With
between
logic.
him and Satomi, though. It's very close. But one thing that's interesting, and check out the giveaway we're doing. We just gave away a Radiant Black, a Rogue Sun #1 110 Able variant, and the winner was Mike Parker. Mike at Mike Art for Life. Congratulations, Mike. Just message me. I already saw your message, so don't worry about it. But yeah, congratulations, Mike Parker. You won the giveaway for Rogue Sun #1 110. We're doing another giveaway right now. When we hit 600 followers, and we're giving away this amazing Supermassive #1 variant. It's an exclusive variant for Supermassive, and I think the print count's like somewhere between the 600 to 1000 range, so it's not many made. And it's a variant by Gibo Vigante. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but yeah, a lot of people are very excited about this giveaway, and we just posted it today. And part of the thing was obviously follow us to be part of this giveaway, but also reply on that tweet with which Radiant Rogue is your favorite so far. And I'm surprised to see the results because they're split between two characters. Who do you guys think they are? No, the two most popular responses.
Of the rogues?
Yeah, of the rogues so far.
I'm gonna go Shift.
Okay, yeah, that's one of them.
Shift is definitely obviously
And
Doppler. Doppler, I'll say.
Nope.
Is it 001?
Nope. The second most popular one is Radiant Red. Like people really enjoyed Evil Radiant Red. A lot of people messaged
I
saying
like it.
really liked Radiant Red.
Well, So
Yeah.
Marshall School of Business returned, and Just the Glasses. It's another great addition to the pantheon of Marshall School of Business. Like, I love that. Just the Glasses. Like, I'm thinking about getting new glasses. This book like changes everything for me. Like, it's too relatable. Can you stop? Can you like get the magic 8 ball away from me? Stop peering into the orb and watching my life, Kyle Higgins. But no, I really dug this. Riley Charlie did an amazing job.
Matt made an appearance in this issue actually.
Is that with the hat? Get the.
Yeah. If you look at the back of the comic book and go to the letter section, Matt's letter actually made it to the issue, so that's awesome. That's the second time the podcast's been on the series, which makes me so happy. So thank you, Michael.
And that's another reason to, and Michael, not bonus Basuto. We've learned not to call you that. Kyle encouraged it. It wouldn't be a nickname if Kyle Higgins didn't let the snowball roll down the hill and just destroy mountains with the snowball girth. But anyways, my full letter was like 8 pages now. It was a long letter, and there was a Troy McClure reference and everything. I get why it was edited down, and I'm just gonna write more if I do write again, because to have my words edited by the great Michael Basuto, holy shit! I've already made it. I can die tomorrow.
I'm still waiting for that bastard Kirkman to get one of my letters onto Firepower. I mail him every month, and I'm like, come on, man, like peanut butter. I just wanna just don't kill peanut butter. Like every time.
One day, keep them coming. I like that representation for Halifax up there.
Oh,
Hallie. One other thing though, and it's cool that this is the one with like the Pete's logo that looks like Pete's Boutique, which is like, I don't know if it's like straight up like a Nova Scotia thing.
I mean, it wasn't just Matt though. We got another Canadian actually, and another member of the Discord, Literate Griffin. Yeah, who made it to the letter section, and Literate Griffin actually won the last giveaway. So you winner of 2 different things this month, my friend. Congratulations, Griffin. Yeah.
I wasn't just bathing in my own ego for this. I did want to mention, how did I know how to write in? Because as we know, here's the more ego stuff. I'm 2 for 2 writing in the comics. And the reason that I did write in was because Michael Basuto, the great Michael Basuto, wrote in the Discord one night, because it's like one night for us over here. He's like, hey, kind of light on letters if anyone wants to write in. And so, hey, if you're someone that really wants your letter in there, we knew this when the iron was hot for striking there, if I butchered that analogy. So another reason for the Discord, which we didn't plug too much today, but it is an amazing hub. We've got awesome new Radiant Sun emotes in there now. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
Radiant Sun? Did I say Radiant Sun?
Yeah.
Sorry,
that's
my mom always called me was her Radiant Sign, and it's ingrained in me. But no, I'm just kidding. That never happened. But yeah, so there you go. Discord's good, and the letters is good, and bonus Basuto, it's not gonna, like Fetch, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
that's the first Mean Girls reference in the podcast. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that existence robot on the Discord too. That thing was so cool, like where it translates like the Radiant text. That was freaking cool. And then I just wanted to say, last quick prediction, I'm gonna say now Sheer gonna be hacking and going after the Brush or Bush brand.
He's gonna like he just wants to replace their brand. And
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He'll be
wants
like
to
the
be
Eddie
the one
Brock.
that
He'll start doing ads.
My
I'm
name
coming to your territory.
Take shit off. It's a perfect mix. No, that's hilarious. No, that's awesome.
The other brands just don't make the cut, and then he slices it in half like Link style with like Ocarina of Time with the signpost. Boom. Yeah, no, that's a good
Shout out to
prediction.
Beast Heart Strikers, the awesome backup story that's been in the last few issues of Radiant Black. And shout out to the creators, writer Lan Pitts, artist Joe Hunter, who is probably going to be joining us in an episode in the future because
That's awesome.
he's reached out and shown interest. And
Joe's rad. Did you see
Yeah,
his
Joe's
Sailor
amazing.
Moon Knight?
Joe has an amazing sense of humor. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
did you see
that was sweet. That was sweet. I did love that.
Sailor Moon Knight fighting
Yeah,
evil
Sailor
Tiger.
Moon Knight, that was so funny. Yeah, like I mean that tweet went viral too. So nice one, Joe. But no, Joe's hilarious. Joe has an amazing sense of humor. I'm really excited to have him on. And also letterer Frank Svetkovich does an amazing job on Beast Heart Strikers. I mean, nobody's a bigger fan of Beast Heart Strikers than Marty Stoked, who is our favorite moderator, a friend of the podcast, and my co-host on another podcast, Panel to Panel podcast, where we talk about all things comics. So check that out. But
yeah, if you like bashing Ali but hate Matt, we got a better Matt for you now. But like, Marty's on the ball. So no, yeah.
But,
you guys are focusing on what, like the adaptation to screen from the comic to the
no,
screen?
we're just talking about everything comics, and we plan to
Nice.
have a lot of guests on. Yeah, so. Yeah,
Episode 1 is out as of this recording, so
yeah,
check
talk
that
about
out.
Moon Knight, and we bring up Charlie. He's our Moon Knight. Like we were convinced at one point that Charlie was another personality of Moon Knight because he was promoting the fuck out of Moon Knight so much.
I did hear that, and that comparison came down to I was compared to a Secret Identity of Kathy, possibly.
I got called a Kathy simp in the Discord.
I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel about that, but I'll take it. I appreciate it.
I love that Kyle like intricately puts in so many great jokes, and there's so many things that could become memes in Radiant Black, but so far Kathy is really like the dominant meme in the Radiant Black spirits.
I don't think Kyle. I don't know.
Even knows about it. Kathy.
Yeah, I don't know how much. I know Michael knows how popular Kathy is because we like he's on the Discord and he responds to a lot of the stuff. But I know Kyle's really. I mean, they're both busy, but I know Kyle's like super busy doing a lot of different things. So he's probably. I don't know if he's seen the fandom that exists for fucking
I
Kathy.
don't know.
But
Low-key Kyle, brother of Thor Higgins, might be in there to do some damage.
My one complaint this issue, and it's not even a real complaint. So this isn't a real complaint. This is just me being, me just throwing a jab out there, being whatever. I was hoping that when we saw the cops, and this was before the issue, Mills and Peters.
Yeah.
I love those assholes so
would've...
much. They're so funny. Like, I don't know. I think their relationship, their camaraderie with Marshall's hilarious. I just think they have a weird back and forth, and I love seeing it. I was genuinely like hoping we would just like, because Marshall shows up to the scene, and they showed that page before the issue came out, all intense. They didn't have any text with the rain, and I'm like, what if he's just about to walk in, and then like Mills and Peter are there, like this asshole again?
I just want to put, and he's got a new form too. What a prick! Let's get him or whatever.
It's like that would have been so funny. But yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Like, I do miss Mills and Peters. Hopefully we'll see them again. I'm glad though. Like we were complaining on the Discord before. We're like, yeah, hopefully we get a name for the dog, and we got Orson. So everything is being heard. I love it.
We got a name plus. Well, we don't have the mom's name of like the most like mean-spirited mom. No, I'm just kidding. But no, that was.
Hopefully we'll get more of her. There was something interesting going on there.
Yeah, the father. Like, what do you guys think happened with the father? Do you think he's still alive and left, or do you think that he's dead? What do you think?
I don't know, but whatever it is, I think it's gonna be an important part of the story down the line.
I'm really thinking
he's.
I think he's dead, and I think the mom's putting most of the blame on Marshall. I'm curious to see how recent this event has happened. Like at what age did Marshall like go through this, and have they always had? Well, obviously they always haven't had this relationship, but like at what age did it start?
That's a good point. There's an interesting way to look at this where she says that your dad always liked that place, and she takes the pizza. Like, is she taking it because she wants to go like enjoy the good memories and she needs the money, or is she just like, I need the money. This tainted pizza memories. I'll endure them to get like food basically. So you don't know.
I think if she can get $90 cash for that thing, she'll do it in minutes.
Good point. Good point. It looks like such a coupon too. It's just like a straight up like coupon looking card, but I like it. Like God, they took like the gift card. He mentioned that pizza gift card like 2 times to people. Are like yoink, like use the rating power.
Yeah, man,
Also,
this whole issue is just Marshall taking one big L. Like even at the end when he like bitch slaps Excel out, like he's still taking the L because he knows like Excel's gonna be back at some point. So I just feel for Marshall this issue, you know?
his enthusiasm got curb stomped at every turn. Like, and it is a reference to Larry David and his amazing work. But yeah, no, it's brutal. Like he gets screwed over. She kind of looks like Ma Kent as well in the Snyderverse.
Yeah, I mean, no,
Diane Lane,
actually,
yeah.
no, that's a good one. Yeah.
Can her name be Martha, please?
No, please.
Marsha and Marshall. She's named after him.
I
He's
think
named after her.
I'd rather get another Gwen before it's Martha. Like, just make it another Gwen. Just play on that joke. I still think it's hilarious because we got this tweet, and this has nothing to do with anything, but we got a tweet where someone was like, "Oh, they made this like variant for Invincible, like Gwynvincible," and they were like, "I can't believe they did a story about Gwynvincible." It's like this is not a real comic.
Oh yeah, I saw.
Wait,
I wish. One day.
That would have been so funny. Gwynvincible, like, come on.
Wait, okay, here's my theory. Okay, I got them wrong. I mixed up Marsha and Martha, but like, what if his name is Marthel and he changed it to Marshall when he got pissed off at his mom? That's my theory. It's been Marthel the whole time. Marthel all along, not Agatha.
No. I mean,
It's always Agatha.
Like, that's too much for my poor boy Marshall. Like, I went through enough of this issue, but no, I'm curious to see like. This issue ends on such a sudden and serious tone. Like, literally, look at that freaking awesome panel at the end where he's just looking into the reader's eyes. You know, you won't. Okay, that was awesome. But I wonder where this issue is going to pick up, like, from next. Because, you know, a lot of comics, this one, other comic books included, they're getting crafty with they're pulling, like, preview pages from different parts of the comic. Not necessarily the first 3 pages anymore. So it's like they're really misdirecting you. Yeah, like that preview pages they showed us for this issue. Some of them, like the rain scene, was from way down, almost at the end of the issue. So it's like, you know, they're getting crafty. And I'm curious to see where they're gonna start with the next issue. Is it just gonna be immediately picking up from like, oh, like just like Excel got arrested, Sheer, you're up, like it's time to do something, you know, like Shift is working like the red angle, you gotta go work the black angle, you know?
Even I don't know if Kathy was in a preview panel, but like with the misdirection, you're right. That could be her alter ego, misdirection, and the way that they do these could just be building up to Kathy's reveal as misdirection, who's been moving things under the scene, a la one Sharon Carter. You know, you never know what's going on. She could be the power broker in this whole situation, and there's a lot of power since the ratings came to Earth. No, okay, you talk serious stuff.
I think we're onto something, but no, I was gonna say I'm really curious how long this form is gonna last for him. And because I know they do this on covers all the time, like even on the new Punisher thing, like they didn't put the new logo on the cover, they put the old logo just to, I guess, I don't know why, not to spoil or whatever. Yeah, not to spoil. Also, a lot of people didn't like that logo, but I wonder if he'll be through that whole issue. And I'm also wondering if there's going to be another evolution above this, because if he gets into a fight right away and he levels up again, like who knows what's going to be going on.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. We've seen I think this is cooler because it has the cape and the whole skin changing. It does like 2 effects, and also it just looks amazing. But also
both are S tier dope as fuck, but I put this slightly ahead. But
we haven't seen like something I'm really excited for. We've seen the power up from red, we've seen the power up from black. We haven't seen any power up from yellow or pink. I think Pink will be able to probably make like gigantic, like ocean-sized portals and just bring in like worlds on your ass. Like, I don't know what her design will be like, but who knows? I have no idea. I'm very curious to see what Pink is gonna be able to do when she levels up. Like, I have no idea. What if she becomes like Mirror Master? I don't know. Yeah.
A little spoiler for Red. Once the Hulkbuster starts like shooting flames and shit, that's gonna be freaking.
Yeah. What if like Satomi can turn into things? Like what if she could turn into like she's like a transformer, but like a radiant transformer? Do you know what I'm saying?
That would be sick. You can get like a nice Ghost Rider. You can get a bike there with the fire.
And she could just turn into weird things. Like that would be crazy.
I would like that.
Here's my end game for Satomi. She lives in Hawaii, and like the volcanoes that pop off, she just goes in the volcano, absorbs all the magma and stuff like that. Like the symbol of rage, like a volcano, she's the one to quell that. Someone who's known to have anger issues, and she's chilling out, and she, you know, and Owen's dead as well, long dead by this point.
Owen's rid of. We'll just Owen's
rid of. Atrocitus. That's awesome. I love that. I would love that.
Yeah, no, I think, but joking, I wouldn't mind that ending, but I think, it's just like a joke. I'm sure Kyle and Cherish, not that I don't even know if they've talked endgame goals, but like that'd be cool. But I know they'll cook up something even better. But this is wild that we have this multiverse. We've got 3 different Radiant verse books to talk about, like in a
I know,
month.
and there's Dead Lucky coming soon. We might have some Dead Lucky stuff in store soon. Who knows? Who knows?
Might keep it on the DL.
Keep my lips sealed
Yeah.
for now. But no, it's just crazy. And the other day, even we created a new Dead Lucky section in the Discord, and Melissa Flores even popped in there for a second. She was like, "Oh my God, we've already got like a section of Discord for Dead Lucky. That's so cool!" And I'm just like, I was so happy. That's such a wholesome moment. So there's just so much to look forward to. When I published the key list today earlier, and people were looking at the key list we made, they were like, "Wow, like we didn't realize that there was a cameo of Rogue Sun and Dead Lucky in Radiant Black #7," and it's like, yeah, it was very tough to spot. You look at the posters up in Tokyo, and you see Rogue Sun in one of them and Dead Lucky in the other. So
Well, I barely catch that character I didn't know existed yet. Yeah, but it was
I know,
cool.
literally.
That was
that's
super
that's
cool.
the point, though. It's sneaky, and it's like,
Fine.
there you go. There's that piece of information right now. So if you want to buy the first cameo appearance of Dead Lucky, it's in Radiant Black #7, I believe.
It was as sneaky as like sneaking in Batman versus Superman teases into I Am Legend, right? It's that kind of stuff where it's like we put it on the billboard, like that's like Easter egg central, like that's packed. Like Easter this year is gonna suck compared to all the Easter eggs I saw last year when I was reading that issue. Like, geez.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed. I'll guess to spoil this right now, but I couldn't tell if it was, but I'm pretty sure it was. There's a scene, or sorry, a panel in Radiant Red #2 where you see Morty, or sorry, Rick, like from Rick and Morty. Like it's one of the graffiti. You look at where she's going into the building where they drop the drug on
missed
her.
that.
Yeah, you look at like the
In-
thing on thing, and it looks like Rick.
In what issue? In the latest Reading Red?
Yeah, and the latest Radiant Red, and one of the
I'm actually
pages.
pulling it up. I got it right now.
Yeah, when you look at it's in like the 3rd page or something. She's going through that door where all the graffiti right before she.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that Rick? Pretty sure that's Rick. Like
It's got the teeth, the eyes. I don't see the hair, but yeah, you might be actually the hair pops. You might be right there.
When they're
I think
going
that's-
very subtle.
yeah, I think it's a subtle Rick right
When they're
there.
going up the stairs, or
Yeah,
Oh.
it's
And
like,
and there's like it's like ARP, kind
The
of like
best
almost like a
panel-
burp, and he
the
burps.
best
No, like
panel,
the
yeah.
X over the eyes. Yeah.
the best panel that shows it is the one where she has her hand on the knob and it says
Yeah.
Kerr. It's right above the Kerr. You can see his face and his hair. Like it looks like Rick. And I was just like, is that Rick? Like that looks like Rick. And we got Snorlax
Okay.
last issue, so it's cool to see those little teases.
Uh,
But
Now,
alas,
Rick and Morty, is it a book?
But
no.
more Radiant Red for next time. All I will say is I hope you got the secret variant because that was a bitch to find.
Yeah.
I did not. I totally was sleeping on that one, and I'm gonna be one of those suckers probably getting it on eBay in a little bit and paying way too much for it.
Me too. I missed it I missed out on. I wasn't able to go to the store. I'm pretty sure they're all picked. I saw some stores had it for like 10 to 15 bucks. Some people got really lucky. I mean, most people I know paid 10 to 15 bucks like Canadian for it in that region, or even 10 US. But some people paid a little bit more. Some people paid cover.
How did one like get that? Like how?
So if you're on the Discord, flex slash whatever. If you're on the Discord, Cherish Chen came onto the Discord and dropped a little hint saying, "Keep your eyes out for Radiant Red #2." That's what she said. She didn't say anything else. She just said, "Keep your eyes out for Radiant Red #2. There might be a surprise." So I got the whole server guessing. Oh my God, what is it gonna be? What is it gonna be? It's gonna be this. It's gonna be that. And people were like, "Oh, maybe it's a secret variant." And I'm like, that makes sense because secret variants, we haven't had a lot of them, and that would be something really
Sure.
cool to do with Radiant Black. And it was a secret variant. It turned out that we've done this before. We've done something similar where, if you remember, for Radiant Black #6, we had that Kira cover, and I think Kira Akamoto cover, and the cover was initially advertised to have Satomi on it with her helmet, but when the cover actually came out, it didn't actually have the helmet on it. Like Satomi was helmetless on the cover,
Okay.
but that wasn't a secret variant.
Seven. That was the same. Or no, the seven wasn't really a secret variant.
Seven wasn't.
They just
a
hid
secret,
those
It was
characters.
hidden. Yeah, they hid all the characters up until it came out where they had the whole team on the cover. But This is a real secret variant. Basically,
That's
I don't know what the ratio was. I don't know how they did it, but some stores got a few depending on how many you ordered. Some stores barely got any. And the difference is the normal cover has the helmet on, and the Radiant Red secret variant has Stomy on the cover. Exact same cover, but she doesn't have her helmet on.
And the super secret one, she has her Hamlet on and she's reading from Shakespeare's famous. No, I'm just kidding. I do want to say, like, if there's any series like Image, how many Image properties have been adapted into video games besides Spawn? Is it just Walking Dead and Spawn, right? Just those two?
Probably.
Yeah. Oh man.
I feel like I was saying the other day with Rogue Sun when I saw the emote, I'm like, man, a roguelike with Rogue Sun would be amazing. And obviously a fighting game with the Radiant verse. Like, imagine having Infernal Girl Red pop in, and like they all have, these guys are friends and all have the rights to it. Like, if you guys can find some indie devs, like I would play the shit out of that game. Like,
yeah, that's been like one of the biggest or the most frequent requests on the Discord is like, I would play the hell out of this game. This game looks so cool. There's a lot of people who are very intrigued by the idea. I mean, like, you think about something like Marvel versus Capcom, and I think like having Marvel versus like
I always think of Marvel versus. I wake up thinking of Marvel versus Capcom 2, and I go to bed thinking of Marvel versus Capcom 2. Anyways, yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom is amazing, and it's like you think about something like that, you could do something awesome in a modern day context. And even if it's like you can't include Marvel DC, just to have like Image versus or just Image Royale, Image
versus
Comics
SNK.
Royale.
No, Image versus Capcom would be. Oh my!
No,
I would die.
that would be
Ryu
amazing.
versus Marshall. But Image versus
that
Capcom.
would be.
Just imagine that. That'll be a podcast. We should do that in the off season or one off. Image versus Capcom, and I would die. I would die.
That would be amazing. So that's why we like,
Chun-Li versus Satomi.
Support Radiant Black if you're a fan. Support Image Comics. Keep buying the comics from the local comic stores.
Beast versus Hulk.
Yeah.
No, that's Capcom. Sorry.
That would be
Battle Beast versus Zangief. Baby. Okay, sorry. I'm watching too much Triple KO. Anyways.
Yeah, anyway, but yeah, so I think this is a good place to wrap this episode up. We've covered pretty much everything. Some quick
housekeeping.
Shout out, some quick housekeeping we'll do before we end. Don't forget to check out the Radiant Black Discord if you haven't already. It's an amazing community for people who like comic books, pop culture. We don't just talk about Radiant Black. People talk about other stuff too. Super friendly people. Moderators are awesome. It's good stuff. Creators are in the server. A lot of the creators from Radiant Black are in the server, including Kyle, Marcelo, Matt Groom is in it, Ryan Parrott. They're not super active, but they do hop in from time to time and make it exciting. Also, some community members we just want to thank for the interaction. We want to thank Owen, Charlie, obviously, Joe Loves Comics, Theta Campanile, right? Anomaly Owen.
Who made the new emotes?
Massive Central and his girlfriend Dummy. Thank you so much for the emotes. I think his girlfriend did it, but
and that's her username. That's not Bash is being disrespectful.
No, it's Parker from Massive Central, and then Dummy's her username. I don't know what her real name is.
I'm just kidding, but yeah, she's Dummy a smart cookie if she can make those emotes, and they're awesome.
They're amazing, and she's been grinding. She made like a bunch of Rogue Sun ones, and they're fantastic. So thank you so much for that. We love them here at the server. She also teased that she's going to be making Shift emotes soon because Shift is one of her favorite characters. So I'm very excited to see those because a lot of people love Shift. I love Shift. So it's an awesome time at the Discord. Shout out also to Ken Levitsky, who I know has been going through somewhat of a tough time recently. I think he just had some surgery on his knee, going through a lot. Hope you're doing okay, man. Stay radiant, of course. And just hope everyone's doing well. Thanks, everyone, for listening to the podcast, for being a part of this community. Thank you so much for 500 followers. It's been so much fun talking to everybody, getting to know everyone, sharing this amazing interest we have for comics and for Radiant Black and the Massiverse specifically. But also, I wanted to say, if you're enjoying the podcast, please help us grow. Tell your friends or leave a review on Apple Podcasts or like it or follow on Podbean.
Or if you know someone that hates puns and you want to drive them crazy, send them our way.
Yeah, exactly. That really helps us out. It's how we get the statistics and everything. But also on YouTube, we have a YouTube channel and it's been really growing recently. So thank you for that. Almost at 100 subscribers. So if you prefer using YouTube, check that out. We plan on doing more video content soon, not regularly, but a little bit more video content soon to try to incorporate other aspects.
We're looking into Tout. It's amazing. You guys know what Tout is? No, exactly. No. Thanks for everyone that's helping this podcast grow. Is it we're close to 5,000 on Podbean, or is that way?
No, I mean overall, I think we're above like 5,000 plays. Which thank you for everyone for that. It kind of blows my mind because we don't really.
Hearing people like call me a Kathy simp, even it's surreal. Like it's
the other day someone asked Matt if he could use his poetry at like a recital at school or something. I was thinking it
I
was
was gonna say that. I was just gonna say that when I
that
plugged
was
my
really
poetry.
cool.
That was freaking awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Freaking
he's
awesome.
gonna read the one that his English teacher liked in particular. So what up? Not in school, but still
that's
placing. So yeah, thanks to Anomaly 616. That's super rad, and I actually like that one. If you guys want to check out more of my poetry, it's at All That I Thought on Instagram. I'm close to 350 followers. It's been growing really well, and I'm super pleased with a lot of the stuff I put out and the reception. So any more people want to check that out, that'd be great. If not, I mean, poetry, it's a lot to get into. Sometimes I'm serious, but
And
yeah.
Owen's our next guest as well, so it'll be fun to talk to him about that kind of stuff. To have him, on. He's a very smart kid, and he's really into Radiant Black. And after all, he is the Radiant Black Discord trivia champion. So that's gonna be fun.
It's in his bio too.
Yeah, I mean,
on
he's
Discord.
he's the man. He earned that shit, man. That was like that blew my mind because we came up with some hard questions and we had to come up with more because these like the contestants answered pretty much most of them, but we got stumped at the very last one. So that was such a fun night. If you enjoyed Radiant Black Trivia Night, we're gonna be doing more of those things in the future. I've been telling guys here, my podcast team, my friends, and the fellow moderators, other people on the Discord. I'm going through my final week or two of the semester right now. It's just intense. Once this week is over, I'm devoting a lot more of my time to the Discord, the Twitter, and everything. It'll be a lot more active and it'll be a lot more fun. So I'm really
It'd be
looking
cool
forward.
to get like a Jeopardy setup going. Like I
Yeah,
think there'd
yeah,
probably
yeah,
be a way to get like a fake Jeopardy going with like a top three.
yeah. No,
That'd
for
be fun.
sure. We have so many ideas. That's the thing. Everyone here, me, Matt, Marty, Raja Ali, everyone here, all the moderators who work so hard, God bless them. They all have some fantastic ideas. And sometimes it's ironic because it seems like, because we meet once a month to discuss, like everybody, all the moderators meet once a month to discuss quality of
It's
life.
like the Court of Owls. Like we all wear masks and everything.
Yeah, and we actually, a lot of the people who have support suggestions, a lot of the times these are suggestions have already been discussed. So it's just a matter of like finding the most efficient setup.
And
But
everyone's
thank
been
you.
cool as hell. Like we've had
Oh,
minimal issues with people. Like
yes.
it's been amazing. Humanity has never acted this amazing. Like since the beginning. So it's
Yeah,
good.
thank you to everyone in the Discord for being so incredible, for being, for helping build this amazing community, for being a part of it. And we're always looking forward to interacting more with the Discord. And we have some fun events planned soon with giveaways, with all kinds of stuff. So if you like Radiant Black, if you like the Massiverse, go tell someone about it. Get them in. Let's have more fun discussing this stuff. And if you want to be a part of the podcast, just literally just hit us up with an email or just post on the Radiant Black Discord and we'll get you on.
Yeah,
But
we'll
before
answer your
we end-
questions. We'll probably bring on as a guest, really.
Yes. Yeah, we love, that's how we met Charlie. So, and now he's basically the honorary fourth member. So, and I've joked about that before, but he really basically is. So, yeah, one last thing before we conclude. We did get one question for this week. So, question for the podcast by Anomaly. Yep, and we can all share our opinions and then we can edit this. Question for the podcast. He says, Anomaly 616 says, do you think that with the prominence of Shift in the Radiant Black related books, that he has the potential to become the arch enemy of Radiant Black, a la the Green Goblin to Spider-Man or Joker to Batman? What do you guys think?
You go, Charlie.
Thinking for me, I think right now, while they're still on Earth, before they get into some of the cosmic stuff, because I think eventually the route they're going with some of these like space battles and stuff we've seen, there's gonna be a lot bigger stakes for him. I don't know if I would say personal. I don't know what these villains will be like, but I'm hoping if my Owen theory is correct, maybe Shift, maybe he's hiding under that Shift mask. Maybe he could be a Joker type figure for Satomi or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. It could go anyways, but it's awesome having there just to come back to regardless.
If I had a sound box, you know how in all the interviews Kyle is like, you don't know what the series is really. I would have just played that right then and there.
We need a soundboard. Get the soundboard going.
We need a soundboard, yeah. You don't really know what the series is. Yeah. And it's like, man, but Kyle is right. Like, he's been really unpredictable with how the series is going moving forward. Like, there's some things that we kind of guessed or whatever, but very loosely in terms of like the direction of the story. It's so unpredictable. It's awesome. It's always keeping you on your toes. And I agree with Charlie. I'm kind of like either way. It could be, but it's like it's hard because this is a series that looks to be expanding the scope. And if we're going to compare it a little bit to Invincible, we didn't really
Machine
meet
Head.
Throg.
I'm thinking Machine Head. That's what I was thinking of. I think it's Machine Head level.
We didn't meet Throg until like we were out of Earth, right? Like Throg, like even when Earth was still like the domain that they were part of, he didn't go to Earth himself. He had his lieutenants go for him, like Conquest or Anissa. It wasn't until he left Earth and he discovered, spoiler alert, all those like the disease, and he went to their ship and he realized his the threat the Throg was and everything. So Throg came from outer space. Like that was his domain. And so I agree with Charlie. I think if we're gonna get the big boss, it's gonna be someone from outer space probably, because this is a Radiant Black. Like these are cosmic superheroes. They're not gonna. I don't think the final villain is gonna be someone who lacks some sort of cosmic awareness or something.
I think Shift is like.
I think Shift. He's gonna be. Look, based on the replies, he's what the people want. Like people want Shift. Everyone's saying Shift, 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 Shift. Like my Twitter is blowing up right now. The giveaway post with people just saying Shift. Like it's right now as we speak. It's still going.
Here's my thoughts on Shift. So I think he's Machine Head level.
Yep.
But I think his ceiling might be Kingpin.
I would say Titan. Like more than Machine Head. Remember Titan? Because like Machine Head was bigger.
I remember the Titans.
Yeah, like I think Titan, like because Titan takes over that entire city, and then he like becomes a real piece of shit. So I would say, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like Machine Head from the show because he's bigger there. Yeah, I agree. I think.
And look, we've seen Shift, but when Caps Lock comes around, we're all fucked. Okay, so.
This fucking guy. Even you got Charlie to swear there. Like.
There's no topping that, so I'm done for the day. Thanks everyone for listening. Love you, Bash. Do what you do, Charlie. Always great to have you on the show, and we'll definitely have you on again.
But yeah, no, I think I agree with Matt. I think he'll be a big, like, street level thug, or if he really ascends in terms of tries to really, pursue this whole cosmic journey, maybe. But I think we're gonna get new players once the series shifts to more space setting.
Ooh. You said the word. You said the magic word. No, but yeah, Shift's design is amazing. So like, even if he's not like the most popular round, like he'll be selling with masks like Rey Mysterio, like all that getup is
he's Radiant Genji. That's what he is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think Genji, and like when I do comparisons to other series that I love, I mean, you just put this in. We got a stew going. We got some good stuff. Like we got like Genji. Yeah. Do it up. Put in more Overwatch designs. Give us Lucio. Like make Doppler look more like Lucio, and I'm down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. And they're just getting started with that. Sorry. Go ahead.
If we can get this quality of villains for even like if this turns out to be kind of like a C-list, like be even like a D-list villain, like it's so awesome to have, because all the best superheroes have good rogues galleries for the most part, and it's awesome just to build them from the ground up, because not everyone can be the best villain. I guess I'm trying to say.
No, not everyone can be the Condiment King, right? Some of these guys get left behind.
Of course.
Condiment King.
You get hot sauce in your eye. You tell me that's not a threatening villain, Bash.
I just think it was like, yeah, the Condiment King is pretty badass.
Oh, yeah.
Can't deny that. But no, I think this has been a great place to end. I think you guys have given some interesting thoughts for the listeners to consider. I want to say once again, thank you everyone. Thank you to my fellow friends and fellow podcast co-hosts for being a part of this awesome episode today. We covered a lot of ground, and like Charlie said, that new Radiant form that's one to look out for, because that's badass. And man, like if they ever make an action figure, you've already got tons of money there, because you look at Invincible, they have those action figures where he has the blood on it, where he has the blood not on it, where he has the torn outfit, the torn not torn. Those all sell, and it's like you look at this, and these are all unique forms. I tell you, those are gonna sell. These are gonna sell like crazy.
And you got to do the Hawaiian shirt, Marshall, first.
Yes. Oh my god,
yeah.
Yeah. That's just a classic. Oh my god. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. We'll see you next time. Stay radiant.